Throughout most of New England, if you look under cover along margins of small brooks and seepage areas, you can find 3 species of saturated soil salamanders.
You can find them along streams like this beautiful stream that we're going to look at, or you can find seepage areas. What we're looking for really are these gravel banks. For the adults of all these things, it's going to be on land. And larvae could be pretty much in the water. There's a spring. See them? We're kind of lucky in turning this one up first. Generally, we would find or expect to find a 2-line first because they're way more abundant. We could tell that it's still in the larval stage because we could see these external gills that it's using to take in the oxygen that it needs. And it will lose those gills when it finally metamorphoses to the adult stage. And so you can see how big a salamander this species really is. I want to go downstream a little bit. Zach and Aisha have turned a lot of cover in this territory, and so I think I want to go down a little bit further. I may turn up a few nice rocks on the way. Maybe I could find something that they missed as well. It's only the larvae that live in the water. The adults are feeding on these wet soils, not right out here in the open usually, except maybe at night. During the day they'd be undercover in the places that we're looking for them, under the rocks, maybe under the leaf litter. And here's one. What we turned up here is the most abundant and widespread. It's a 2-line, northern 2-line salamander with that brownish yellow back, and the lines are the dark stripes on the sides. See if I can get them in the hand. This isn't as bright as some, but you can still see that yellowish orange coloration on the underside. He lost his tail. That's a regrown tail. It's these larvae that are the primary food for salamanders and fish in a little stream like this. You need all these spaces for these amphibians to be moving through the spaces, to be feeding in those spaces, to be escaping from predators, or to lay their eggs on the undersurfaces of these rocks. And so sedimentation as a result of road building, construction, bridge building, all that kind of stuff can fill in those spaces, and streams can become embedded, and these salamanders would no longer be able to survive here. We need to maintain some natural habitat along the margins of these streams, and so when you hear about buffer strips, 50-foot or 100-foot buffers, it's a step in the right direction, protecting some natural habitat along the margins of the streams where these salamanders can feed on wet nights. Like I said, the 2-line could go way up to the top of this bank, so it might go a couple 100 feet. If you have a nice naturally vegetated buffer strip along the stream, you protect the water quality, you minimize sedimentation, plus you provide feeding habitat. The big dusky. I don't know if you can see him here. Right there under that stick. He's kind of nestled in here. He's coming up pretty well. That's a nice big adult dusky salamander. Nice big strong hind legs. He might jump any minute compared to the front legs. I'll try to ease him down. Get him moist again. Of the 3 stream salamanders, this is the medium-size salamander. If you can see a light line, white outlined in black, going, you can see it on this side, down and back from the eye. So here's the 2-line, more slender, smaller, spindly legs. The dusky, heavier bodied. Little crayfish. He wants me to let him go. What I'd like to show you that we haven't seen yet is an adult spring. And we've seen the larval spring, which was pretty big, but I'd really love to be able to show you an adult spring, which is even bigger. It's just impressive. It's neat. Big orange salamander. We know they're here. Seen the larvae. See a big guy right there. There. Nice big adult.
Awesome.
Finally. Orange-brown background. Black modeling on top of it. If you can see the light line from the eye to the nostril. This is our biggest upland stream salamander. So the two line, the little one, so we saw good sized adult duskies. Now here's a nice big adult spring. They do feed terrestrially when it's really rainy, really wet at night. And so they would wander around, we would expect, at this distance from the stream and eat some worms and slugs and invertebrates, but most of the time you're going to find them like we did under these nice big flat rocks that are right along the stream edge.
Keeping streams in good shape for salamanders also keeps them healthy for many other species, such as brook trout, sculpin, crayfish, and hundreds of insects, as well as the many mammals and birds that feed on them.